Hey, it's Ryan from Radial Engineering with Sonicstate.com at the 2017 Pro Light and Sound Show in Frankfurt, Germany. Got a few, or maybe more than a few items I'm going to show you today, kind of focused on the pro audio side of stuff that we have for the show. The first thing is the SAT2, or the SAT2 stereo attenuator and monitor controller. What this is a basic passive device, so no power required. On the back, we'll show you what's important first is your inputs, so either dual mono or stereo source inputs, and then dual mono or stereo output. We flip on the front, we'll see what we can control with our signals here. So we have a mono sum, so if you're using this as a monitor controller to come out of your DAW into your powered speakers, you have a nice level control here. Mono sum for referencing for phase issues or anything like that you want to check out. You have a mute function to kill the outputs. Then you also have a variable dim that you can set. So if you want to use it as a monitor controller, you set your attenuation there, and then use the dim function, knock down the program material while you're talking to whoever's in the studio with you. You can also use this as an attenuator, so if you want to drive a mic preamp really hard and then saturate its output if it has a tube output stage or a transformer output stage, and you don't want to overload the inputs of your DAW. So what happens is when you drive a mic pre really hard and you get that saturation and the coloration that you're looking for, you can often overload the inputs of your A to D converters. So this will allow you to do that as well. So attenuator and monitor controller. The SAT2, estimated price is shipping hopefully within about the next 8 weeks, and it's around, retail price is about 130 euro, somewhere around there. Next we have the mixed 2-to-1, so another kind of little passive utility device. I'm going to show you the back again because this is where it counts. We need to know what we're doing here. Taking two input signals, so typically say the output of two mic pre's. So if you're recording guitars, for instance, and you have two mics on the cabinet, going to two different preamps, and you want to sum it to mono, you want to blend those two together to your interface, you can do that with the mixed 2-to-1. So you would come out of your mic pre's, and then you have your level controls for each input channel. Level control bypass, so if you want to sum a stereo output, you can bypass the level control so that it's equally summed to mono, or you have your different trim controls. So 180 for one side, so if you are using two mic preamps and you've got the mics at different distances and you have phase issues, things like that, you have the 180 phase invert on the second channel. So estimated price of this is about 170 euro, and like the SAT2, we're estimated to ship in about 8 weeks from now. So that's the mixed 2-to-1, nice little utility device. A couple other boxes. We have the LX2, so rather than mixing things together, we're going to split the signal. So we have a line level input and then two outputs. So we have a direct output and isolated output. So what this can be used for is if you're parallel processing and you have the output of a mic pre and then you want to send that to two different effects. So you have a direct out and an isolated out to reduce hum and buzz caused by ground loops. And then you also have a trim control or defeat. So if you're coming in hot with this and then you're overloading your next devices, you actually have trim control, which you can engage by the recess function here. We decided to put a recess button because in live situations, if you're splitting the output of a console or something like that to feed, say, a video camera or two video cameras and something else, we want to make sure that the level control can't be accidentally knocked after the levels are all set. So that's the LX2, Jensen transformer isolated. Street price is around 275 euros, and that's in production now. So that's shipping immediately. Lastly today here are these little new devices I'm going to show is the LX3. So similar to the LX2, utility device, line level input. I should mention also that you can go unbalanced or balanced into either one of these boxes. Here we have a direct out, and then we have 2 isolated outputs. So very similar to the LX2, minus the trim control, and then added a second isolated output. So the LX3 retail price is about €330, and we are also shipping now. So cool for splitting the output of a console, or once again the output of a mic preamplifier, and allowing you to send the signal to maybe 2 different types of compressors for A-Bing, or you can send it to a couple EQs and do parallel processing on your mixing console.
So useful studio glue.
Yeah, very, very useful stuff. You know, stuff that people don't think that they need, but then they find you know, a problem where they want to split a signal and they don't want to just use a cable because maybe they're using a Y cable and they split the signal, but they're getting hum and buzz caused by ground loops. Our isolating transformers are going to help you abate that noise. So lastly today I'm going to show just it's not a super new product, but it's a very popular product for just kind of getting a snake kind of anywhere you need to. So it's a 4-channel snake, so you have your input side, and it allows you to run a standard Cat5 cable, analog audio, up to 100 meters without noise to the receiving side. So on the Catapult we have inputs, then we have throughputs on XLR, then we have a Cat5 jack, and what it's doing is it's taking the balance connection, so you're hot and you're cold, from the XLRs. It shares the ground over the shield of the Cat5 cable, and then uses the 4 twisted pairs inside of the Cat5 cable to send the signal, balanced without noise, to the receive device. So we have receive boxes come in with your Cat5 cable, then you have 4 outputs to go to your console, and then you also have 4 isolated outputs to go to your recorder, for instance. So we have mic transformer versions of these, as well as line level transformers, and no transformer option available too. So I think about, they go from about €200 up to about €400, depending on which configure, which transformers you're using. And you use a send box and a receive box to get your 4 analog audio channels. So if you need just a small snake really quickly, you have just a spool of kind of standard shielded Cat5 cable and a couple of these guys. It's really handy for audio in house of worship, or if you're just trying to do a small conference or something like that and you don't need to bring a big snake with you, just a roll of Cat5 and a couple of these will do. So that's the Catapult. It's a very popular box.
How is that powered?
They're completely passive again. So all the products that I just showed today don't require any power. They're passive, transformer isolated, or just simply built so that you don't need to worry about any external power supplies, things like that.
So just literally plug and play.
Plug and play. Cool. And thanks for joining us, Sonicstate.com at Pro Light and Sound 2017. It's Ryan with Radial Engineering.